I did my own Amish religion. I kind of knew a little bit about the Amish religion. I actually visited there when I was a teenager. Beautiful country up in Pennsylvania. Saw a lot of horse and buggies, saw a lot of beautiful quilts, and had a great vacation up there. Was excited to learn more about their actual religion though, because all I knew was what I've seen on TV and what I've seen on postcards. You know, basically that they didn't have electricity and that they always went around on a horse and buggy, and we had to pass quite a few horse and buggies, and it was, like I said, it was really cool to visit there when I was 15. I'm going to start with their history. They originally were part of the Mennonite community in Switzerland. That's how they began, part of the Anabaptist movement. In 1693, Jacob Amon decided that some of the Mennonites had strayed from their beliefs and they had a lack of discipline. So he split from the church. His followers ended up being called the Amish. According to J.F. Donner Meyer in the Amish Society, an overview reconsidered, in the 18th century they decided to immigrate to Pennsylvania. They went to Pennsylvania for the opportunity to own farmland and the prospect of religious freedom. They also branched out into Ohio and Indiana. Pennsylvania was a place that promoted religious tolerance. It was, back then it was just a colony, and later became Pennsylvania. They suffered many hardships once they got to Pennsylvania. The French and Indian Wars, the Revolutionary War, and there was a religious revival in which Baptists and other religions targeted the Amish people for their beliefs. In spite of that, they grew slowly during the 18th and 19th century, and during the 20th century they really began to thrive. Now there are more than 250,000 Amish in America. Their beliefs. They believe that Jesus Christ died for their sins and that he is the way to salvation. They do not believe in infant baptism. They believe that adults should be baptized. They also do not dunk the people that are baptized. They sprinkle them. They believe that religion should be practiced and not displayed. James 1:27 reads, "And to keep oneself unspotted from the world means that they should separate themselves from worldly things to keep their faith." This belief is what keeps them from driving automobiles, keeps them from having electricity in their homes or TVs or any other technologies. The leader of the Amish community is a bishop. Each community has its own bishop, and they set the rules for the community. The memberships begin with baptism, normally after the age of 16. They have a long list of do's and don'ts. If they do not follow the rules of do's and don'ts, they risk being shunned. Being shunned is a form of excommunication, and it reminds the disobedient person that they have broken a holy pledge to God and the church. And it's a complete excommunication. You cannot buy from, sell to, eat with, or sleep with someone that's been shunned from the religion, even if it's a spouse or a child or any other close relative. So if your child is shunned, you cannot speak to them anymore, or you risk being shunned yourself. I'm going to tell you a little about their customs. Their beliefs really guide their customs. They have very simple people. They shun most technology. They do not drive automobiles. They use a horse and buggy. They have no electricity and no phones. The men normally sport beards. They wear pants with buttons and not zippers. The women wear a white headdress and plain dresses with no buttons. They use safety pins to fasten them. The church services are held in a member's home, and it's every other week. They do not have a weekly service. They take turns hosting the church services in their homes. They do farm for a living. That's one of the reasons they moved to Pennsylvania, to support their families with farming. They farm with horses. They do use some modern farming equipment, but instead of pulling it with tractors, they pull it with horses. They do go to formal school, normally until about the age of 15 or 8th grade. At the age of 16, and this is what I found really fascinating, some of the TV shows that you've seen about the Amish is about these kids. At 16, they go through a period called Rumspringa. It is translated to mean running around. Some of these kids at this age, 16, they are able to hang out with their peers without any parental supervision. Some of them dabble in alcohol, drugs, even sexual activities. At the end of this period, they have to decide whether they're going to come back to the religion and be baptized and join the religion and go by the rules set forth by their bishop, or they can decide to join the secular world. According to D.B. Craybill, most of them, 85 to 90% of them, decide to stay in the religion and be baptized. Once they're baptized, they do have to live by the rules of their community. They normally do not vote. They do not take oaths like in courtrooms. They will not take an oath. They also do not join the military. In spite of living amongst all of us, they have somehow managed to resist all the modern technology. They have managed to live beside of us peacefully. They have figured out what was important, God and family, and they have resisted all the rest. So we could learn a lot from these people and their simple way of life.